Alright, showing you guys how to take out your whole intake system for the Mazda Miata 1991. Alright, so first thing I did was this clamp right here. You're going to want to loosen that and then detach it from the main piping here and remove this clamp from the MAF sensor, which I have here. Once you got that, unhook this vacuum line here, and you can take this piece of shit out. The next part, which I did was a pain in the ass. The first thing I did was I took out the hose that goes from here. I think it's a bypass valve for when the throttle's at idle, and it connects right here. You want to take that off and take it off from here, get that out of the way. The next step would be to take this clamp right here. This goes right onto the wire that's underneath the intake, and you just have to, I don't think you can see you just pull back and then lift up, and then the wire will come right off. And then take off this clamp and remove from the throttle body, and then the rest of it. This is the hardest part right here. You want to get this vacuum line out of the way. Take this piping and I'm gonna have to put it down. Right there. You gotta get the wires out of the way, and then turn it sideways and pull up. Now you got this giant chunk of shit out. Once you do that, on my car, this clamp right here, there's a missing screw. So when I took off the sensor right here, took the screw from here, just screwed it right there to keep the wire in place. I'm gonna get a breather filter for this, and a new hose to go right here. And then for this part, the air box, the first screw you need to take out is going to be this one right here. It's going to be located under this wire, and I think that's it's a 10 millimeter. And then to make this easier for yourself, I took this sensor plug right here, and to take that off, you have to move these two pieces of silver right here. These keep it locked in place, and then you just pull it right out. And then I unscrewed the sensor. The 4 bolts hold it in here, and the 1 bolt here. Took that right off. And then there's gonna be a screw right down here, underneath the I think this is the clutch or this is the brake booster cylinder. Right underneath there's gonna be a nut. It's I think 12 or 10. Not sure. I think it's a 12. And then another screw right there. Same thing. And then for here it's the same size as well. And this screw here holds the cruise control and the airbox in. And then you're going to want to take this screw out, which is a 10 mil, and this one as well, which is also a 10 mil. And then you'll be able to take this right off. And then once you got all those screws out, this is your airbox. You can just lift it right up, and then the inlet to the airbox wraps right underneath, so you're gonna have to like snake it out of there. Alright, so you got that out. You have all that extra space for turbo or just custom intake like I'm doing. See, and then I put all the screws back, and then there's these 2 screws right here holding a bracket that hold the intake in place. You know, get it in position. I took these screws off, took the bracket, and then I put grease on all the threads for these screws, and I put them back so that it wouldn't like rust out and shit. Just to cap them off. And then you don't have to put that screw you took off here for the intake, because that holds in your little diagnostic plug. Then what you're left with is this, which you actually need, unless you get a mega squared ECU. You're gonna need this and your original sensor right here. When I took this off the airbox, I was lucky enough to have the cork gasket stay on, and I took off the little brass spacers here, so when I get the adapter and the filter, it's gonna fit real nice. So that's about it. This vacuum line, when you get the piping in there, you're gonna have to zip tie it to the intake. I think that's it. Just go over everything. Alright, and the last thing, when you're putting your cruise control, if you have that in your Miata, you're gonna have to put the rubber spacer. It's like a mounting spacer thing, and then it goes right here, right in there. And if you're not gonna use the air box like I'm not gonna use, I just snapped it right out, and I took it, slid it back on here, and just put the screw back on, and it fits snug. That is my 91 Mazda Miata intake removal. Subscribe for more videos.